I've told people, it's like, well, look, you graduated past this level. Congratulations.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a good spot, but it is kind of it's a weird spot. It's like the middle of a marathon. It's like
Right.
you're not at the beginning anymore.
Right.
There's still a long trek to go. And those beginning gains that you make where you're leaning down, where you're getting stronger, where you're getting more metric, all these things are checking off all at the same time because you just changed a lot of things. And like, that's when you get the most benefits of it,
Yeah.
where now it's a hard thing sometimes that, okay, well, now the consistency that you had, that's great. That's going to keep you here and you'll incrementally
Right.
progress. If you want to keep going to another level, okay, what are you willing to trade off? Because if you want to get to, I've been in the low digit body fats before. It takes
Right.
all your focus of priority.
Right.
Like everything else pretty much goes secondary, unless you're a
Right.
genetic freak and you can just stay very lean. But if you want to get to that level, first off, I don't think it's really that worth it. It's fun to take a
Right.
picture on it and then you see it,
Yeah.
but it's a hard conversation to have at that time. So I've questioned this before. If we all talk about start with why, and it's like,
Mm,
I think at the beginning steps, Jen, sometimes not knowing exactly why, but just implementing things is just a good thing. Just leverage it. If you just want to change some things, great, do it. The why really starts to come into place even more so when you're almost in that advanced beginner, getting into that intermediate
yeah.
stage when you need
Yeah.
to dive in and even assess even more. So like the assessment process you talked about, it's not just something that needs to be done at the beginning. It needs to be done on a very regular level moving on forward.
Yeah, I think that's so true with like anything in life. And I'll give a couple examples to riff off this topic. If you start to pursue eliteness in any one thing, the eliteness that you're pursuing becomes bigger and bigger and bigger part of the pie, and everything else shrinks. So like I remember when I was training for CrossFit at the highest level I could possibly be, my business wasn't as big. I wasn't as good of a leader. I wasn't as good of a girlfriend than fiance than wife because it was all about me, my training, my food, my exercise. And then I made a decision to sort of retire from that super elite competitive level of CrossFitting. And suddenly I went from 2 workouts a day down to only one. And I was like, whoa, I just gained so many things by giving that eliteness up. I have more energy. I have more patience. I'm, more fun with my friends and family because I'm willing to do more activities now where I was like, oh my gosh, what if I possibly get hurt? Or maybe I shouldn't go cross country skiing because that makes me lose a more important CrossFit workout. Like now I have all of this freedom and energy and more of myself to give to other people. And so I think like even chasing like food eliteness or body composition eliteness, you have to become more and more self-focused and selfish to get more and more of an elite result. And a lot of times people don't question, like you said, why am I doing this? So is it because I just want a lot of attention in the photos that I take and can post on my social media? Is that the why that's driving me needing to be so
Mhm.
controlling with my food and elite? Or can I look at the big picture of like, I started this for good health. I'm now in great health. I'm consistent. I've built these foundational lifelong great habits. Go me. I'm so proud of myself. And now I don't have to work quite so hard. I just have to maintain. And like I said, now there's energy left over to go have mastery in a new area. Maybe you go get mastery in a language or a business skill or being better in your relationships. Like go now be a beginner somewhere else that adds value to your world and your life. And so I think that's an important thing, an important conversation for coaches to have once someone's out of the beginner stage is defining their enough. Like what is your good enough stable point? And then it is okay to stop getting better. Like it is okay to just coast and be like, I'm not my good enough with food. I'm not my good enough with fitness. I'm just going to keep coasting here and I have energy left over to other pursuits.